Hey guys, JasonLeeno here. This week I'm going to be doing a little different. No fancy edits, maybe some fancy edits, but it's going to be kind of a vloggy style just because I'm having a hard time doing editing because things are starting to finally ramp back up in life and in work, so I'm definitely becoming a lot busier. However, this is a peak and it is kind of a more important portion of my training considering that I've been working close to, I guess, 5 months now trying to get as strong as I can. And so I wanted to share with you, hopefully all the peak like I mentioned in the past. So today is going to be a bench day. It does call for a heavy single, close to like 100% if you can, maybe a PR if it calls for it. But the downside is I don't really have a training partner anymore. With things ramping up, everybody's just getting so busy and trying to catch up on life, I guess. I'm kind of by myself. So we'll see how it goes. I'm really not too fond of doing self lift-offs for benching, just because I don't really feel all that stable doing it. But I'm going to give it my best try I can, and we'll see where I go from there. I'm going to be doing, hopefully, see if we can get this here, 255 for a single, a pause single. So it's something I've never really ever been able to pause, and it's never something I've even been able to lift off on my own. So best of luck. We'll see. If it's not a grinder, may go for PR, may try to aim for 260, which would be amazing. But even if I can lift this off and finish it, I'm going to consider that a win. I'm not really happy with that. 255, unfortunately, was not there when I gave it the attempt. 250 was there. Might have gotten 255 after watching that 250. The honest truth is, like I mentioned, I don't do lift-offs on my own. Never been a fan of self lift-offs. Always dependent on other people. But after going through all this, I think it's just something I need to start working on, because when it comes to training, I'm always going to train no matter what, and I can't depend on always having people there, because who knows, we might have a pandemic. So I'm probably going to be working on self lift-offs, but I'm really happy that I was able to push the 250 with a actual pause this time, because I know back in the day I'm doing pause benching and it was questionable, but that was legit pause. Probably would have been 3 white lights, which I feel happy about considering I kind of always struggled with bench, and I'm finally feeling comfortable with it. So hopefully the rest of the week goes this well. But yeah, I guess the next session will be my squat session. I'll probably have to wear a shirt that day, so hopefully it's a lot colder. I don't want to tear up my skin too bad, but we'll have to see. But until then, guys. Day 2, guys, squat day. So I'm just finishing my warm-up sets now, and I figured I'd chime in before I lost all the blood in my head and try to have somewhat of a conversation prior to my max lift. Today's feeling a little bit hard, not gonna lie. Warm-ups aren't going as fantastic as I was hoping. However, I'm not gonna get too discouraged. I'm just gonna wrap my knees pretty tight, hope for the best, and see where the day takes me. The objective is to try to hit a new 1 rep max today. We'll have to see, but like I said, I'm training by myself, so at this point, as long as I can get the weight back up, I'll count that as a win. Well, that did not go as I expected. Honestly, when I came in today, I was hoping to hit more than 345. Like technically, that was supposed to be my last warm up, but it ended up being my max squat for the day. And trust me, no matter how much I tried to tap into the old J, grip and rep, adrenaline, scream, rage, the whole shebang, it wasn't going to work. Believe me. But it is what it is. Like, can't be too upset just because I came back from an injury. Everything's feeling really good. I am a little discouraged though, because kind of, as I mentioned, maybe wraps were supposed to be that key to help me kind of increase my squat. In fact, it's not looking like that right now. Probably should get a little bit more out of them than I am currently. However, not every day is an optimal day. And let's be real, I could probably work on a bit more of my quad strength since, well, I don't really do a lot of quad movements. I've always focused on a lot more back. Probably why my brace didn't give, but I couldn't finish extending my hips through the hole. But that's enough analyzing for today. Next day will be deadlift day, and that's going to go really good. I have a feeling. Unless weight shows up, then maybe I'll go fishy. But if I'm pulling 390 again, it's going to go pretty easy. Until then, guys. Well, guys, it's deadlift day. Now, to give you a little bit of behind the scenes information, so today's Saturday, yesterday was Friday. That's normally when I do my third training day of the week. However, yesterday didn't go so well. When I was coming in to do deadlifts, I was aiming to hit an ANRAP for 390, just because that's the recommendation that I usually get when reaching out to Swede or even looking into his teachings, is if you don't have enough weight or if you don't feel comfortable, take a weight that you can do an ANRAP with and then base it off of his chart that he's come up with or he published in his book. That was the intent of the day. However, during my warm-ups, I reached to 365, and I don't know if it was an off day, if my hips were tight or anything like that, but I felt a slight little pop. Nothing too crazy, but I didn't like the idea of training anymore. So I kind of called it a day there. And then fast forward to today, I realized after the initial training day that I have a little bit of a glute strain, nothing too crazy. I'm still able to tie my shoes, sit down, and everything like that. And in fact, it's actually completely isolated to my glute, which normally if I have any kind of strain, it ends up being in my back and pretty much puts me down for a long time. So I'm getting stronger, I think. But today I'm going to just kind of see how it goes. I'm not going to go too crazy. I was still able to hit that 390 for a set of 2. So we'll see if I can hit 390 again. Maybe I'll base my numbers off of, my last heavy set, or, we'll just have to see. But yeah, I guess wish me luck, guys. Well, 365 is where it's going to be today, guys. I'm not going to lie, I did try 390. However, it wasn't there. Couldn't budget at all. The upside is I'm still healthy. The sad reality is when it comes to deadlifting, after taking some time to think about it, look into my training logs, I kind of did this to myself. Now, I don't recall if I mentioned it, but when I joined that meet in August, I kind of had a little bit of, adrenaline going, some excitement to be able to powerlift again. And I decided to bump up my deadlift to 450. Now, I have hit it in the past, but when it comes to the 5th set principle, you are supposed to write down a max, or calculate a max, I should say, that you've done recently. It's been like a year since I've hit 450. So for me to think I could just randomly pull that out of my pocket whenever I want, even though I've been deadlifting 405 most recently due to all the hip issues I've been having, might not have been the best idea. It's kind of disappointing that I realized this too late. Fortunately, I still have a few weeks left to the peak, so as long as I stop doing stupid things and focus a little bit more on my recovery nutrition, I might still get a decent squat out of it. The reason why I say I'm going to focus a little bit more on my recovery nutrition is because I haven't really been doing that all too well either. When it comes to nutrition, I pretty much just eat whenever I want. Usually consists of not eating a lot and then gorging thousands of calories before bed, which screws with my digestive system, isn't really the best for recovery. And then when it comes to like drinking and hydration, doesn't really exist. My diet usually consists of beer, coffee, well, lots of coffee, and let's be real, a lot of beer. Not really the best decision either. So that's like 2 for 2. Yeah. So, sorry to myself and for those of you that have been following along and want to see me make this comeback. Don't think I've let you down yet. Like I said, still got a few weeks left, but I figure I would share that with you because after being a little frustrated and then just kind of looking back into the training log like I mentioned, yeah, it kind of just became more embarrassing than it is frustrating. But it's not over yet. I still got a few more weeks to go. So we'll see where things go. Hopefully they go up a little bit. I remember my last peak, I'm like, oh, I only went up like a few percent. I'll be happy if I do that this peak. But we'll have to see, guys. So do me the favor, go down below, drop me some comments because I'd love to hear what you have to say. I'd love to hear your opinion of this awesome brain of mine. And then also hit that like, share, subscribe to spread that love, and I'll see you next time.